Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem B'Kodash. I want to give double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and salutations of much love, rest in here, Aki, and pushing the word in truth and sincerity. This is the cleric Azar coming at you with another lesson. I am continuing in my lot to bring you my ongoing series from excerpts of Hollywood, this factory of perverseness, another observation of predictive programming and how R imitates life and vice versa. Just a reminder, the purpose of my videos is to show correlations. A correlation is an observation of a mutual relationship or connection between two or more things. I use movies to extract or extrapolate a narrative. I'm not glorifying the Hollywood culture or life. I have a wide knowledge of films, whether they be foreign or domestic, and I just use them as an example to bring out those similarities and those correlations. To quote Cecil B. DeMille, the greatest source of material for motion pictures is the Bible. I call this lesson, Pride Goeth Before the Fall, Part 2. The image I have on display is from a film I watched recently. Of course, being this truth, I reflected on this particular movie. This movie was released on September 1st, 1978. The title of it is Five Super Fighters, directed by Mar Lowe. I'm going to get right into it. Basically, in this particular movie, there's a particular fighter who's going around challenging different schools and basically defeating the head instructor and telling them they needed to correct how they're teaching and that their style is not up to par. And this particular fighter was quite arrogant and quite prideful, and spoiler alert, I mean, he gets his in the end. So it just made me think about what the current climate is right now. We in the body of this truth and in this particular knowledge, we see that this Esau Edom, so-called white man, he's going to be headed to the same type of fall, actually, even worse fall, I should say. Okay, but let me play this scene, and I'm going to bring out some scriptures.
Just get out of my sight. Is there something wrong, man? You're blocking my way. But that's not true. You're over there. We're over here. There's no way that we're blocking you. Perhaps it's something else. Possibly we've offended you. Whatever you may say, you're in trouble now. You all need a lesson, and you get one. So you're picking a fight. Pack your things and get going. Hey, you watch your mouth. You better not talk so big around here.
You see that?
You better not talk so...
Now, of course, the English dub is one thing, and the subtitle is another. So I usually, when I watch my Asian films, whether they be Chinese or Japanese or Moab or Ammon, I always put the subtitles on because it shows what the actual language is actually saying. The English dub, most likely they make it, they turn it up or turn it down a certain notch, and it doesn't give you the accurate description or accurate translation of what's actually occurring in the scene. But once I saw this come across the scene and saw pride comes before a fall, I had to go ahead and think about where this comes from. Hey, it comes from the scriptures, folks. Okay, when you go into the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 18, it reads, "Pride goeth before destruction, and haughty spirit before a fall." Now, when you go into the word haughty, it goes into being arrogantly superior and disdainful. All right, and this is what this particular instructor is basically doing. As you can see, he feels he's arrogantly superior, and then, believe it or not, if you ever see this film or check it out, technically he is at this particular moment until the spoiler once again, until the fighters get theirs at the end. Of course, they go and they train and they get them in the end. Okay, and basically this is how we are in this particular truth. We're supposed to hate the evil, the prideful, as well as the arrogancy. All right, if you don't know that, you can stay in the book of Proverbs and go into the 8th chapter, and we're going to go into the 13th verse, where it reads, "The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride and arrogancy, and the evil way, and the froward mouth do I hate." Okay, let me read that again. The fear of Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy, and the evil way, and the froward mouth do I hate. Okay, when you go into that word froward, it talks about if a person being difficult to deal with or contrary, habitually disposed to disobedience and opposition. Okay, that's Esau Edom in a nutshell. All right, Esau Edom, so-called white man. All right, being difficult to deal with, contrary, habitually disposed to disobedience and opposition. Okay, And this is how he walks in the earth. Okay, he walks with that particular forward mouth. Okay, all right. And we can stay in Proverbs again. All right, it's a very educational book, and you can get a lot of wise quotes. Okay, Proverbs chapter 6 verse 12, and it reads, "A naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a froward mouth." Okay, and this goes back to Esau Edom's so-called agenda. I mean, the way he teaches, when you're in high school, middle school, elementary school, even in college, all right, it's always about, what he's done and what he's accomplished, and how it's actually taught, and how the fact that he hasn't stolen anything or robbed anything, raped, robbed, or murdered anything, he's the innocent man, okay? But we're going to see very soon how guilty he is of this particular, of the crimes that he's committed over since he's been on the earth, to be exact, okay? Because the inward thought is that, he's just going to continue on forever. And to back that up, we can go into the book of Psalms, chapter 49, verse 11, and it reads, "Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names." Okay, and you can look that up yourself, okay? The names of America, the names of Africa, things of that sort, the places where Esau Edom has conquered over the ages, and he's renamed them by his own names, okay, or by the people that actually were responsible for conquering and things of that sort, okay. And this is basically what we're heading into, all right, a real prideful man, because knowing that he have a short time, he's going to come with great wrath, okay, all right, and it's going to be a crazy time, all right, he's going to finally show his true colors, okay. But I'm just going to end it on this, because I always like to end my videos on a good note with some type of silver lining. There's light at the end of the tunnel. So in other words, there's a happy ending. Just like in this particular film, like I said, I'm going through this particular collection of the Shaw Brothers Volume 2 box set, and the last couple films I've seen were quite memorable. And I thought, in one of my last videos I made, I said to myself, once you see one kung fu film, you've seen them all, especially me being with a background in martial arts. But I love seeing these particular quotes, and I just thought, hey, let's make a lesson out of it, okay? But one thing about seeing an arrogant, prideful, and evil man is also seeing his fall, okay? It's just like being that kid on the playground and being bullied, and then once you see somebody stand up to the bully, it feels good to see that bully fall, and that's what's going to happen to Esau Edom, okay? Very soon. Okay, let's go into the book of Proverbs again, and we're going to go into Proverbs chapter 29, Salakia, verse 16. Let me say that again. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 16, and it reads, "When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increaseth, but the righteous shall see their fall." Okay, now the New Living Translation reads, "When the wicked are in authority, sin flourishes, but the godly will live to see their downfall." Okay, we're rolling upon that number, and hopefully I will be able to witness their fall as well, because ultimately it's going to end with America, aka Babylon the Great, being destroyed by nuclear or thermonuclear destruction, okay, and being able to witness the lake of fire from sea to shining sea, okay, and to see his the wicked banking elite go into slavery, and also see Esau Edom's descendants go into slavery, and after 1,000 years being exterminated off the face of the earth, okay. All right, and that's what happens to a prideful, arrogant, and evil person as Esau Edom, okay. All right, let me just go ahead and show you the poster for this film here for you to check it out yourself. Like, once again, it's called Five Super Fighters, and not a half bad flick. I really enjoyed, like I said, just like a really good movie. And this is the Most High's movie, ultimately. All right, because he directed the steps of these directors, and if you look into, there's a lot of different Shaw Brothers documentaries about how these particular movies really flourished in the ghettos all around the world, specifically the ghettos here in America around Jake. And Jake really, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, Jake saw the similarities between his own situation and his own condition as related to people in poverty having to deal with a opposing government. Okay, just like we're over here in Babylon the Great, and of course all the other countries that Jake has been dispersed to, aka this diaspora. Okay, I just wanted to share that. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, who gives me the strength and the spirit to continue to strive and endure in these last days. Shalom to the hopeful elect, and on to the next video.